Hi and welcome to A World of Words. I'm Vanessa and today I'll be discussing the Shadowhunters TV show. Shadowhunters is based off of one of my all-time favorite series, The Immortal Instruments by Cassandra Clare, right here. The show just premiered on January 12th, and the first 2 episodes are available to stream for free on the Freeform channel, which I will link below. If you haven't seen the show yet, I would recommend you go there and watch it sooner rather than later because I don't know how long the episodes will be available. Also, I just want to say right now that I won't be nitpicking at all of the little things that they've changed in the show. Yes, I'm aware that they changed many details, and I will be comparing it to the book here and there, but the point of this video is not just to say that that was different and, well, in the books, because if you have read the books and are watching the show, then you know what was different. Okay, so I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was entertaining. I really enjoyed the overall tone and atmosphere of it. The sets were awesome, the costumes were great. The show just looks so amazing and it really feels like how I pictured it in the books. Maybe a little bit darker, but I really loved the overall tone. And the cast. Now, I absolutely loved the movie versions. I watched it so many times and I really thought Lily Collins was the perfect Clary. So it just took me a little bit to get used to Kat McNamara as Clary. But that's only because I've been so attached to Lily Collins as Clary. I've watched some cast interviews and Kat just seems like such a sweet, enthusiastic person that I really wanted to like her as Clary. And I did. By the end of episode 1 and especially in episode 2, I thought she did a great job. Especially in the more intense emotional scenes. When she came back to the destroyed apartment and there was that scene in the rain and she just completely broke down. That was really good. And the rest of the cast was great. Isabel, my favorite character in the series, was amazing. I loved her. I really liked that they made her so much nicer from the start. Because in the books, she was kind of cold and standoffish towards Clary at first, and it really took them a long time to bond. So I really liked this nicer but still very badass Izzy. Jace was great, Simon was hilarious. Alec, who I'm always kind of iffy about in the books depending on the situation. I like him sometimes, but then I get annoyed with him at others. The actor was a really good Alec. The whole cast is so attractive, as per usual with an ABC Family Now Freeform show. And Magnus. They brought Magnus in earlier, which is awesome because Magnus is awesome. I wanted more of him and I just can't wait to see him meet the rest of the crew. And Valentine was just phenomenal. OMG. So I don't know if you watched Reign, but he was the evil crazy king on Reign. So I knew he could play a good Valentine and he did. So insanely evil. It was great. So while I said earlier that I do love the movie version, it was very rushed. They had to fit all this into a little bit over 2 hours. So when watching this movie, I knew that my parents and my friend who hasn't read the books were a little bit confused. I had to pretty much prep them with the whole Shadow World history and backstory and everything before they watched it. But I felt like the show was paced really well. I feel like somebody who hasn't read the books would be able to follow along with the show just fine. I'm not 100% certain because I have read the books multiple times, so if you watch the show and you haven't read the book, I would love to hear what you thought about it. Another thing I wanted to mention was the Institute. Now if you read the books, you know what I'm talking about. So it was like this crazy high-tech command center and there were all these people walking around like who were they? The Institute's supposed to be pretty much abandoned and it's just them, and then kind of the point was that all they had was each other growing up and their parents were even gone so they couldn't go to them. But the show looked like there were all these people, so they didn't necessarily have to just rely on themselves. So I was kind of wondering who were they and why was it so high tech, because I thought there was a part in City of Glass where like technology and stuff doesn't work that well with the runes and the magic of the shadow world. But again, it has been a little bit since I read the books, or maybe that was just in Alicante. Now that does actually maybe bring more, maybe they have a plan for it, maybe they're going to bring more people into it, more new characters, not that they really need any new characters, but still, you know, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with all of that, and like why they chose to make it more high-tech and modern. And then we have Maureen, who, if you read the books, you know is supposed to be a blonde 12 or 13-year-old who wears like a rainbow unicorn shirt on and is like Simon's band's only groupie and is like in love with him and just like follows him around to all of his shows. And she also, I don't think, shows up for another couple books. But they aged up Maureen and made her actually a member of Simon's band. I know that Maureen plays a very important role in the story, and her role is actually a lot creepier if she was a 12 or 13-year-old girl, if you know what I'm talking about. But kind of want to know why they made her older, as if she was supposed to be like a love triangle between Simon and Izzy and Maureen. And then if they're actually going to introduce Maya early, like I think I read something about her coming in early, like they wouldn't really need her to be another love interest. So I'm just kind of curious about why she's aged up so much. And it was supposed to be like Clary and Simon were together always, and now it looks like there's a third member of the group. So I'm just kind of wondering what they're doing with that. And then I just want to discuss the end of episode 2. So far I think anybody who has only seen the first episode will not be spoiled for any of this, but if you have not seen episode 2, I'm gonna start talking about it, especially the very end of it. If you've read the books, it probably doesn't matter if I spoil the end of episode 2, because even though they did change something quite a bit, but if you haven't even read the books and you haven't watched the second episode of the show, you might not want to watch the rest of this, because I'm just going to talk about the end of episode 2, and I don't want to spoil it if you haven't read the books and you're just kind of watching the show as a brand new viewer. So at the end, Clary goes to the City of Bones and she, the sword, and then the sword, instead of telling her that Magnus Bane is the one who blocked her memories, it tells her that Valentine is her father. Now, again, I haven't read the books in a while. I'm planning to do a reread of them because it's been at least a year, I think. But I'm pretty sure she doesn't find out until the end that Valentine is her father. And that's kind of a really major plot twist. So... Oh, and also I was mostly like that part I'm like, okay, what? But I'm mostly disappointed about the fact that like Raphael grabs Simon right there. So does that mean that they don't get to go to Magnus's party and he doesn't get turned into a rat? Yeah, I really like Magnus's party, so I'm like, well, if he gets kidnapped right there, then when are they gonna meet Magnus? So that's about all I have for this reaction video. I could keep talking forever about this show, but I'm gonna stop now because I don't want this video to be too long, and if I keep going I'll probably just start listing the differences between the show and the book, and that's gonna get kind of boring after a while. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. If you've read the books and watched the show, let me know what you think. If you haven't read the books and you watched the show, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear everyone's thoughts and opinions on it. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye!